All right, what is up, guys? Welcome back to Late Night Shots Podcast, episode 117. We have national finals Nino Bonaccorsi here today. So, what's up?
Guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on. So, before we get into this podcast, Derek has a quick word from our sponsors.
As all of you know, we have three great sponsors: Body Art Nutrition, a supplement company based out of Minnesota; Liquid IV; and Defense Soap. You can find all their links down below. That's about it. So, Nino, welcome to the show. Obviously, we have had a star-studded lineup, so why not continue it on for the rest of this week? And we got some big episodes coming out next week for you guys, so stay tuned. We'll be posting some little teasers on our Instagram page for who's coming on. But yeah, let's get right into it. Obviously, you wrestling at Pitt, had some ups and downs this season. I think the whole team kind of did. It wasn't just just you. I think the entire Pitt lineup, there's a lot of room for improvement. So, coming off of, the season we're in the NCAA finals, what was kind of your thought process this year after such a big year? What was that, 2 years ago or last year?
Yeah, I think it was last year, but yeah, I get what you're saying. It was definitely, I was definitely looking forward to coming into this season. I had like a pretty big summer coming off the finals. I made the U23 world team and I was in Serbia. So I was doing a lot of freestyle and I actually missed like a couple matches going into this year, but I was like, well, it's for a good cause. So I was just, I was really excited. And I think I expect a lot out of myself anyway, but like after kind of doing what I know I could do, like making the finals and everything, I still was like, I expected I could go and win, and obviously that's college wrestling and it didn't really work out how I planned. But, I think I look at it as like a good thing. Thankfully I have one more year of college. I feel like kind of like an old man with 6 years, but I got one more year. So I think it was a good thing, if anything, kind of, giving me fuel. And I think, God has a plan for me and I think I'm going to come back stronger and do what I know I can do this year. So, for next year.
Yeah, definitely. You did end up winning the ACC. So, this wasn't an all horrible season. You did end up winning your conference, which I'm sure you were pretty happy about that. That was your second time winning it all. So, I guess we'll just kind of start at the beginning. So, you being, you coming out of high school, were you one of those guys that was kind of heavily recruited, or did you just kind of have a couple pretty decent looks and you kind of just knew Pitt was where you wanted to go?
Yeah, so I think, it is funny because when I was a freshman in high school, I was actually 132 pounds. So it's kind of little for what I am now. But I don't think I was really noticed kind of until my sophomore year. I went to Super 32 and I went to all those like Flow. I try to do a lot of off-season tournaments to get, kind of in the rankings and stuff and get my name out there. And I actually had a good Super 32, so I got ranked and everything. And it just kind of like went up there for my high school career. I won Powerade but yeah, like you said, I kind of knew I always wanted to go to Pitt. Like my brother went there and it's really close to home. So when it was kind of time to decide like what school I'm picking, I didn't I didn't take a lot of time like visiting and talking to other coaches. I kind of committed as soon as I could. So I wouldn't say like I went on visits and got this and this offer or whatever. So I committed pretty early, but that was where I wanted to go. So it wasn't like I missed out on anything, I feel. But so, yeah, I think a lot of those summer tournaments kind of really put my name out there. And then, yeah, I think it kind of helped lead my decision to go to Pitt.
Yeah, obviously wrestling at tournaments like that, you kind of have to run into some absolute studs now who I'm sure are studs at the college level. Do you remember any of those guys that are, doing really well now in their college careers that you ran into back in those tournaments?
It's crazy because even in those tournaments and when I was younger, obviously PA has like a lot of, even back then, like I remember Spencer Lee was always in my weight. Mickey Philippi, my teammate now, was in my weight. Luke Pletcher. So a lot of those guys were, I always just grew up with, and it's kind of crazy to see that they're still doing great now. And even my junior year in high school, I wrestled Mikey Labriola in the finals. My sophomore year, Chenzo Joseph and Caleb Young, Josh Maruka, Ethan Smith, we were all in the same weight. So it was just like every year. It was it was
Bracket, man.
it was crazy, dude. So I was like, so yeah, it's kind of cool now that we're all kind of obviously spread out in weight and stuff. So it's cool to see those guys at tournaments and we're all still doing good. And yeah, man, it's really awesome. And even wrestling those guys, this prepared me for wrestling in college and everything. So it was really great growing up and being able to hang with those guys and everything.
Yeah, awesome.
So,
I feel like we're hearing that a lot now that all those guys from our decade, when we were kids growing up, we watched the Dake and the David Taylor and all those legends, we watched them come and go. And I feel like now it's kind of like, oh, I remember wrestling this kid or this kid, and now he's a Big Ten, he's in the Big Ten about to win the Big Tens, or he's an All-American at nationals. It's kind of cool to see everything kind of come full circle.
dude, I even left out like two big names. So like Schoolboy Doles, we did freestyle. I wrestled Dayton Fix. And then all the time, even in clubs and matches, I wrestle Yanni a lot, like a ton. And just to see those guys like go to Worlds and freaking beat, it's just like, it's crazy. Like Yanni's he's going for his fourth or fifth. I don't even, can't even keep track. But it's just like, it's crazy with, who you grow up with. You don't even realize at the time.
Have you beaten any of them, or like Fix, Yanni, and those guys?
I didn't beat Fix. I beat Yanni when I was younger. I didn't beat Chenzo. A lot of those guys I went back and forth with. I wrestled Spencer one time. I lost. But yeah, watch Yanni's gonna watch and be like, "Oh my god, you've been talking smack now."
But I think now, if you wrestled, I think you have pretty decent size advantage.
I got some size, but Yanni's awesome. Those guys, but yeah, I got some wins over those guys, but I definitely took some losses to some of them too. So it was all great. It was all good.
Yeah. So last year was your biggest year. You made the national finals. You pulled some big upsets to get there. What was that tournament like for you, that season as a whole? Because I think you came in as a 6th seed that year. You make it to the finals.
It was great. It was also like a weird year because it was the shortened season. So that was kind of an adjustment too. And that whole summer, I mean, I was 84 and I thought in my life I was going to be a 97 at one point. And I just didn't really know when. I feel like in the summer I was still wrestling, so I never got a chance to like really get big and everything. And having that time off, I kind of grew into my like natural body. I feel like natural weight. So I think it was kind of cool too. It was like new weight, like new me, like I haven't been here before. So kind of like a chip on your shoulder, like I can wrestle with these big guys and everything. And yeah, man, it was shortened season, but things were clicking, and obviously won ACCs for the first time, and ACCs always preps you, for those big tournaments. We have good competition in the ACC, and yeah, it was just a great run, and it was one of the best times of my life wrestling on that stage, and hopefully I can get back there again. It's nice kind of getting there because I feel like cracking through. I never All-American before, so finally cracking through that to make that status is, I think, a big thing. I feel like sometimes if you're not able to do it, it puts a lot of pressure on yourself. You're like, can I do it? And I feel like you're maybe thinking about that more than the actual wrestling. So being able to kind of get that like release off your chest is, I think, something big. And once I did that, I kind of never looked back. And yeah, so.
Yeah, I know a lot of people talk about that. It's like the quarterfinals is like probably one of the most tense rounds because, like, obviously if you're projected to win, you are. But for most people, you lose there, you're in the blood rounds, it's do or die. You win, and if you lose out, you're going down 6. It's not like you're off the podium.
Oh yeah. So I always feel like some of the best matches are after like the semis because it's like everyone made it through. It's like, all right, now we could like maybe let it fly a little bit because we got nothing to lose. But yeah, like you said, those rounds are brutal and they're fun for fans, that's for sure. But being down there and stuff, it's definitely rough. So but yeah, it's great.
I want to say you wrestled Jake Woodley in the semis.
Yeah, yep. Yeah. I did. I actually, funny story about Jake is I don't know if people really know, he's from PA and everything, but we actually like wrestled when we were little, and we went to the same club basically our whole lives. Like we Sonny Abe from Pitbull, I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but he was our coach, and we me and Jake wrestled every single day in practice. So it was definitely kind of weird to wrestle one of your best friends in wrestling in the semis. But you know, kind of worked out that way. And but like I said before, you know, we both all American at that time, so it was kind of like, you know, we both want to win, but either way, we'll be happy. You know, we kind of both made it on the podium, but so that was definitely kind of weird. But
What was your mentality like going into the finals? You know, you have yourself who's been around for a while. You said that was your first year, getting an All-American finish. And then you have AJ Ferrari, you know, who's made a name for himself on the collegiate scene, you know. Obviously has his whole social media stuff going on, but you know,
yeah,
he's a talker. It's pretty obvious. Like, what was it like going to the
yeah,
finals?
yeah, man. It was. I honestly wasn't. I didn't really know too much about like his like antics. I don't even want to say. I don't want to say that they're bad either, because you know he definitely promotes himself and he makes fans interested. I don't really have too much of a problem with it. But I didn't know like that was kind of like his thing that he does before the finals. I just that he's just another wrestler to me. And yeah, dude, it was exciting. And I kind of made a conscious effort to myself to not make the finals bigger than it was. You know, I wanted to be like, well, if I'm going out or, you know, win or lose, I don't want to make it like, oh my God, I made the finals, I gotta wrestle different. You know, I kind of kept reminding myself, just do what you do, just wrestle how you've been, and you know, we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I was definitely it was exciting. It was something that, you know, I used to watch on TV when I was little, and the fact that I was able to like, you know, be in that position, it was kind of like a dream come true. So it was just great. And you know, hats off to him too. He had a great match, and you know, if I'm going to lose to someone, it could be him. He's a good wrestler. So yeah, it was all fun.
Yeah.
Great match.
Yeah, so but obviously the big thing, you know, when the whole incident with the car crash and everything happened, I know
Yeah.
it was really big at first. What kind of, you know, I know this affected you more than anyone, but what kind of went through your head when that happened? Because I know, you know, the first thing is like he was like he tried to pass three
Yeah.
cars or something, did what he did, and then his dad sends out the
Yeah.
post on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, man. It was yeah, like you said, I don't really know exactly what happened. I guess he was trying to pass some cars or whatever. But yeah, dude, when I heard it, I was like in practice and someone like saw it on Twitter or something. I was like, oh, man. Like first thing I was like, is he okay? Like, you know, above wrestling and being a competitor, it's like I don't want anyone to get hurt. So that was the main thing, seeing if he's all right. And you know, thankfully he was. And it is a shame that he couldn't come back and finish out his season. I definitely was, you know, thinking that could have been another rematch this year, going into this year and everything. But yeah, dude, it was sad. But you know, what's crazy is 97 so deep that you know you take out the champ and then you got another guy coming in his place who's equally as tough. So it wasn't more like he's gone. Oh, now the spot's really opened up. It just kind of, you know, took a little depth away, I guess, but not much because the weight was pretty loaded. But yeah, dude, it was crazy. But I'm glad he's getting better. And it was funny. I saw some people posting about him, so I try to put something on Twitter. We
Yeah, I
like
saw
shook
that.
hands and yeah, so I try to give him a little respect there because we don't talk too much, but we actually follow each other a little bit now, so maybe,
Yeah.
you know, there's not any bad blood. So I'm
Yeah.
wishing him a good recovery, and hopefully he can get back to season. Yeah, we can get another one in. So
Yeah. I remember when
yeah,
he the first post he made after like he got out of the hospital and everything was an ad for like a butcher shop or something like that.
yeah,
And he addressed it in the ad. And I feel like he got paid like a lot extra for that because people would just be
yeah,
like waiting for the first post.
yeah, right. Yeah, I didn't keep too up to date with like what he was posting, but that sounds like something he would do. He's making an ad right out of the hospital. It's funny, but
Yeah.
I was saying too that you know, the dude's like obviously freakishly strong, and I'm like, he's probably the only dude who could walk away from a car crash like that and like be like okay, because you know, like it's just kind of funny how that worked out. But yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. I saw that picture of the car and I was like, because this was before like anything came out like on his condition.
Mhm.
And I'm just like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's probably chalked at that
Dude,
point.
it's a miracle that yeah he was able to walk away from that. It's
That car was
yeah,
bad. Like I feel
it
like
yeah
Yeah.
It wasn't
Plus,
even
there
a
was
car
that whole
anymore. It
like
was just
that guy that pulled them out, like that when he like disappeared by the time like the cops got there, but he pulled them both out of the car. Like it
yeah,
was just insane. And then the next person that got there was the Oklahoma State athletic director. So it was that guy came, pulled them out of the car, and then the athletic director saw the car and was like, "Oh my god!" And it's
yeah,
like it's not one of his athletes, but it was two, and the other
yeah,
kid was
dude.
a standout track athlete as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was probably one of the most insane things. It's like I feel like the whole wrestling community was like holding their breath because I mean, a lot of people
Yeah.
have opinions on him, but I mean, at the same time, you don't want to see anybody get hurt or like die.
Yeah, for sure. Did that track, was he okay? I feel
Yeah, he was fine.
like okay, yeah. I mean, I didn't ever hear anything about him. I feel like so. Well, that's good too. But yeah,
I
that
feel
is
like
crazy that
yeah,
out of all people to be there with him.
I feel like that makes it even crazier because like that dude was like no more than like 120 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's definitely, God was with them that night. So that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
you're probably gonna get that rematch next season. So
Yeah, I hope so.
yeah.
Looking forward to it. But
no,
yeah.
no thoughts of going up to heavyweight. Not in your goals, no.
No, not in my plans as of now.
No.
Unless I start
Do the
getting real
Anthony
yoked.
Cassar. Do the
What'd you
Anthony
say?
Cassar. Do the Anthony Cassar.
Yeah,
Just
that's
gain
true,
40
man.
pounds
Yeah,
of muscle and just go up.
honestly, yeah, I feel like now, like I was just thinking this before I was getting on. I was like, these heavyweights now, it's like, I don't know, not that back then it was any different, but these guys, like these upper weights, are so agile now. It's like it's totally different form of just like maybe stereotypical heavyweight. You're just like too
Yeah.
like they're
Well, I
agile,
mean,
they're
that's how it was
fast.
though. Like you saw like the transition when Kyle Snyder beat Gwizdowski.
That's
You
what,
know, it
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
it was Gwiz, it was Kuhn, it was Don Bradley. Like they were just these big guys, and now you
Hmm.
see it's like Gable and Kirk, and I mean even Cassiope. He had an
Yeah.
insane body transition. He kind of had to transition to the weight class. He went from
Hmm.
a little bit floppy to an absolutely chiseled heavyweight. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't really see that kind of unathletic, big 6'5", 300-pound heavyweight anymore. Well, other
No,
than
yeah.
one guy who is also an absolute unit, Colton Schultz. That man, he is
Dude,
insane.
yeah.
He's
Beast.
insane.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're exactly right. It's crazy now you know, how much the technique and all the styles have like stepped up in heavyweight. It's insane.
Yeah, I
Makes
think
it
it's getting a lot
really
better
entertaining,
now.
I think. I love watching it.
You know
Yeah.
how like what's it called? Like when you see like all combat sports like UFC boxing, these heavyweight title fights are like the ones people
Dude,
want to
yeah.
watch. You have Tyson
Hmm.
Fury, who's like literally the epitome of a dad bod, and he's probably pulling
Yeah.
in the most pay-per-view buys in the world right now. Probably
Even
Canelo,
that
but
uh Gone from
yeah,
UFC French dude. I
good.
forget his first name, but yeah, dude,
Cyril.
he's like, yeah, Cyril Gone. Yeah, he's like he's crazy. Yeah, I guess I never really thought about that. It's like kind of all sports now. That's like
Yeah,
the thing, but yeah. So,
I
but to answer
feel
your question,
yeah.
probably not gonna get up with those big boys, at least for now. So yeah,
I feel like in general, in terms of wrestling, it's only wrestlers that don't like watching the bigger people
don't like
because
watching what?
like I'll toss a video on TikTok. You can have like say it'll be like Spencer Lee and like we know how good he is like as actual wrestlers. Other
Yeah,
people watch it, they just see like a little dude who just looks like he has ADHD.
yeah, yeah. I mean, at least for me, I like watching all weights. I don't really have like I mean, I pay a little bit more attention in season to like the upper weights, but definitely I like watching those like little guys wrestle. Like I mean, one of my best friends, Mickey Philpes. I like watching those guys. So through him, I kind of get familiarized with some of those names down there, which makes it a little more entertaining. But I mean, yeah, like Spencer Lee, I think I like watching him just because I'm like, how I like seeing if he's going to be able to pin the dude or not. Like it's almost like if he doesn't pin him, it's like a big deal. So I like kind of watching that. And,
Yeah, if you can make it
yeah,
off with Spencer Lee, you're pretty well off in your career.
yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
It's gonna be interesting.
I'm
I
excited for
think
him to come back too.
yeah,
Yeah, that's another guy. I mean, he kind of proved himself the year before, winning it all with no ACLs, and then he
Yeah,
kind of was like, I can't keep going with He torn ACL, so
Yeah, exactly.
it was about time he got the surgery. He put it off for a long time. Because I mean, the same
Yeah.
thing happened to him when he was in high school as well. You know, he
Mhm.
wrestled with the torn ACL, he lost to DeSanto. And that was a big upset. Big PA guys, that was a big upset in
Yep.
the state
Dude, that was
final.
my senior year, and we were watching it. Dude, it was like, I don't think I've seen PI like the Giant Center get more like crazy than that. Like that was probably one of the craziest matches like I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was
Like,
it
I
was
mean, I'm sure you heard your sides of the stories of what it was like him training after he lost to Spencer on the way Austin trained. There were some
Yeah.
stories that like everybody was talking about, like how it just insane that like
Dude.
he was training to beat Spencer Lee.
We can
Yeah.
tell it.
What?
We can tell the story. I haven't heard
Oh
his
yeah,
perspective
it was
yet.
just he had like basically like just lived in a room. His bedroom was like just a mattress,
Oh, that one.
and like,
Okay,
he had the
yeah.
wrestling
God.
room in the garage, and it was just he just worked out all day long, all day. Go to practice, go to club practice, come home, wrestle more, go to sleep, beat Spencer Lee. That was it. That was the whole.
Hey.
But now they're
Sometimes I don't
teammates.
know.
They seem like they're really good friends as well.
Yeah, yeah. I like watching that dude wrestle. I know he has his antics, he's crazy, but dude, he's one of my favorite guys to wrestle. His pace is crazy, and yeah, that's I didn't know
Did
that
you ever
story.
wrestle
That's funny.
him? Did you ever wrestle
DeSanto,
him?
no, I never wrestled DeSanto. Nope. Um, he was when I was a senior, he was in take this tournament with me my high school year, like Exeter. That was his school. But no, we were never the same weight or anything like that. But yeah.
Crazy. So I mean, now obviously Pitt had one All-American. That was keeping the Pitt team alive there, having an All-American or two every year. It seems to be kind of the standard. I'm sure you guys are now going to be working towards putting some more people on the podium. I mean, obviously, I think you guys have quite a good group of guys. I mean, I don't know if does Mickey have another year?
He does. Yep. Which is crazy because he's like he transferred from Virginia and he like lost a year, but came back. So but he has another year.
That's fine. That's great. And then obviously Cole Matthews, and then Wenzel is coming back.
Wenzel is actually done this year.
Is he?
Yeah. Yep. So that's like obviously a big hit, but but thankfully we actually got like a couple of freshmen, Brock McMillan, Luke Augustine. Those are our two multiple time state champs coming in, and they're doing very well. And we got some good big guy recruits coming in like Max Stout, Dayton Pitzer. Those guys are. But yeah, we're definitely trying to make it more the standard that it's not just like we go to nationals and that's great. We're definitely trying to get more guys on the podium, and I think that kind of started with me and Wenzel that year. We made the finals. It kind of put Pitt on the map a little bit that you can do it. And even this year, it stings. It would have been so great, but we had Cole, and then all three of us were in the blood round. We didn't make it through, but that would have been 4, which would have been really awesome. But yeah, like you said, it's definitely moving in the right direction. Just gotta kind of make it happen when we get to nationals. So
yeah, and I feel like that's kind of where a lot of teams are at right now. There's a lot of really, really good recruits coming in. I think this is probably one of the best classes we've seen in quite a while, wrestling wise. So, I mean, I'm definitely excited to see how it unfolds for some schools. I mean, I think we really saw kind of the rise of Oregon State, which was a program that they'd have 1 or 2 guys that were really good, that would All-American and win their conference. And then this year, they absolutely came and they dominated guys.
They did great.
One of the biggest upsets of the tournament was Hunter Willits from Oregon State beating David Carr,
Crazy.
Flipping the bracket completely around. So I mean, hey, maybe Pitt's going to be on the rise. You'll see a couple of guys making some upsets these next couple of years coming up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely big props to Coach Pendleton. He's doing a good job up there. And yeah, I think we're kind of feel like maybe on the same page as Oregon State. We're maybe, I don't know the right word, not maybe overlooked, but that have potential that maybe haven't done it yet. And now I think people are starting to see that. So it's definitely exciting for programs like that are kind of similar to ours. Yeah.
So I don't know if this is kind of a shitty question, but
There's no bad
you and Wenzel, you make the finals. Obviously you both place second. You're kind of on like the side of like, when Griffith makes the finals, the whole thing going off the Stanford program, it's like everybody wants him to win. Like nobody wanted to see him to win, right? You have
Right.
AJ there, and there are people that love him
Yeah.
that just like after he beat him in, it's like, oh, this dude can do it. And
Yeah,
then
right.
there are people that just hate him that wanted you to win at all costs. So what was that kind of like? Because it wasn't like you were just wrestling a typical national final. Like you were wrestling like this dude who's created this persona for himself and
Yeah.
coming as a true freshman trying to be a five-timer.
Most people say he is the most hated man in wrestling.
Maybe, yeah. I've seen some mean comments for sure, but yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, like I said, I really wasn't. I didn't really pay too much attention to kind of who he was like off the mat or anything with kind of what he does and everything. Even now, I kind of like what he does. I think it's it's entertaining. So I guess even if I did kind of know back then when I was wrestling him, I don't know if it would have like bothered me or made it a bigger deal than it was. But I didn't really feel any like thing like that. Like I had to win or there was a lot riding on me or anything. I definitely it was funny when when we were wrestling, we'd go out of bounds and I hear people yell like some crazy stuff to us. It's like good stuff for me, some bad stuff for him, and it was definitely entertaining. And it was only till like after I realized some people really don't like this dude, which I always think's like, I mean, he's in college. He's in college. Like I don't know why you'd hate a dude. I mean I get it, but yeah, I didn't really feel any resentment or anything like that toward the dude. I think he's a good wrestler, and it kind of just goes to show how tough wrestling is now. You got a true freshman coming in, beating guys and winning nationals. So it was it's entertaining. And as far as Shane Griffiths goes, I thought that was pretty insane. I thought it was more so like the program was done no matter what. The fact that like got overturned, I thought was insane. But yeah, I mean, I think I was probably like the only one maybe rooting for Jake. Like our team maybe went rooting for Jake, but again, he made a huge accomplishment making the finals and everything. And we always laughed that he's like, I think I lost on purpose. I wanted Stanford to have it redo their program. So, but yeah, so Shane's a good guy, and yeah, so I guess those two pretty crazy storylines with us too. I guess with all the background.
The same year,
yeah. So that was definitely a crazy year for sure.
Yeah, I know when Shane made the finals again, knocking off Wick, it was a little more split this time because I know there's a lot of Keegan diehard fans out there.
Yeah.
So they were just all over the place, but
definitely, yeah, maybe a little more even. Yeah. Sure.
Definitely. So I mean, obviously, losing, one of your backbones of your program. We see that, especially now, I feel like a lot of teams are kind of struggling with that, with that problem. Obviously, Iowa lost a good chunk of their guys. They lost quite a few. I know Penn State is, nobody really knows what's up with them, who's coming back,
I never count them out anymore. They always seem to have someone in the back.
Beard is in the transfer portal.
Yeah, Beard is now in the transfer portal.
So that's another guy you can be competing against.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, I guess we'll talk a little bit about that for a second. He was somebody who, without, I think, with him or, Max Dean, I feel like that's All-American. But I think Beard is 100% capable of being an All-American.
He was
for sure.
Hopefully, he lands somewhere, that needs a good 97-pounder. And, I think it'll be good for him to kind of get out of the, put himself in the spotlight, because he was the guy. He was the guy until Dean got there.
Yeah, dude, definitely. It's crazy that, Penn State has like a guy who could definitely All-American is like not starting. That just kind of goes to show how crazy some of their depth is. And yeah, I definitely think he deserves to be wrestling somewhere. And, hopefully maybe we'll wrestle in the future. That'd be good. But yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Because I know what I've been hearing is Northwestern, where he was committed originally. Because he's like, this is his 5th year and he has 3 more years of eligibility.
Yeah.
So
this is his 5th year?
Yeah. That's what I was
Oh,
told.
he has 3 more years. Dang, I didn't
What,
realize that.
2019,
That's crazy.
2021, 20. This was his fourth year. I think he's going into his fifth or something like that.
Okay,
Yeah,
dang,
but
yeah,
either way,
yeah,
so yeah. And I was here in Northwestern was committed originally, and then the other one was Michigan.
yeah,
Rocky's done, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Rucky
I think
had it
so.
rough too this year.
Yeah, it was. I actually went up to Michigan a little bit last year to train, and I got to wrestle with a lot of those guys. Made a lot of good friends up there, and I really like Miles Amin. He's a guy I was
Yeah,
rooting for this year. He's a great guy, and even Rocky, he's a great dude, and we got to wrestle a little bit. Kind of sucks being competitors with someone you're friends with, but yeah. So
yeah,
we actually wrestled them in a duel this year. We weren't supposed to. I think we were supposed to wrestle Penn, and they can't. They like it was like when COVID was kind of peaking again, and they couldn't make it, so we changed our schedule. We wrestled them in a home duel. They beat us up a little bit, but it's definitely a nice wrestling their team. They had a great team this year.
yeah. I know everybody was on that goal because of Soriano's debut.
Yeah, yeah,
Michigan, so yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I think Amin also, as you said, is going to go down as like one of those careers that's like he could very well go down as like the unanimous best to never win it. It's like either him or Gilman.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really like how he wrestles. I really was entertained by the 84 pound weight this year. I think I hold it a little close because that was my old weight, so I always pay a little extra attention to that weight class. But yeah, I think could have went definitely either way, and I think that's like with every weight. Like you run that bracket again, any of the brackets, you have totally different winners, totally different All Americans, which is so great about our sport. But yeah, I know it's crazy that he definitely ran into some hammers at the national tournament. I think he wrestled Mark Hall a lot. Certainly
Yeah.
someone is Brooks, obviously. So
I think it's all Penn State guys he's lost to.
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But great dude, and I wish him well in his freestyle endeavors.
The fact that Aaron Brooks beat that man twice is scary, but like going back to yours, like next year, you're looking to, bounce back strong, hopefully get to the top of the podium. It's like, what are you looking forward to most? Like, what do you think you have to do to get there?
Yeah, man, I just think I just gotta be me. I don't really think I need to overthink too much. Obviously, things didn't really work out this year, but I wouldn't contribute it to. I got to go back to square one. Stuff wasn't working. I think I'm right there with all those guys. I think I can beat any of those guys. So I think it's just a matter of going out and doing it. Really making sure I execute what I got to do, and I know how I have to wrestle to win. It's just a matter of doing it and doing it consistently, and especially where it matters. So yeah, man, I'm just really excited, and I'm looking forward to what happens next year. And yeah, I think like I said before, it was definitely I think a blessing in disguise what happened this year. I think it's definitely given me I don't even know the right word, just a different fuel that I haven't really felt in a while, and I'm excited to showcase it.
Yeah. So, Derek.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, obviously, it's the off season. I've seen on a couple of your teammates' stories, y'all are out working out, outside, getting some fresh air together, getting some wrestling in. So, what are you looking forward to? I mean, this off season, what's the competition like?
Yeah. So actually, I'm sitting out for a little bit. I got a little banged up at the tournament, especially kind of my last match. So I'm taking a little forced time to recover. So I actually have to miss the Open, which is kind of unfortunate. But and it kind of stinks too that I don't qualify for U23s anymore, even though I am 23. I think that's I thought it was 23. I guess it all depends on your birthday. So right now I plan on definitely traveling a lot, and not traveling to wrestle, the different RTGs and stuff, and just getting a lot of practicing in, because I think there's not too many tournaments that go on besides the Open and stuff like that. So that's kind of stinks, but yeah, I just plan on just staying wrestling, staying healthy, just lifting, getting strong, and just I think it's kind of a good thing. I have to take a little time off. It's good for the mental side of it. It's it's a grind, and I have been wrestling a lot in the summer, so I feel like I've been going pretty consistently for since my freshman year. Even last year with the whole season, U23s, travel to Serbia, all that. So then this year, so it's definitely nice to take a little time off and go up. But yeah, so I guess we'll see as time goes on. But if there's something going on, I'll definitely be going to it.
Also, I mean, I think a lot of guys obviously are, looking to compete in the Open. So, I mean, what are some guys you're looking forward to next season? I mean, obviously, one last ride for you and your Pitt teammates, especially, some of those guys who have been, generational talent at Pitt. So, what are y'all looking forward to? Who's some guys you're looking to get your hands on?
Yeah, man. I think as a team, I think we're all kind of chippy to get back in there. I think we're a little soured about how we ended that tournament. Obviously Matthews made a great name for himself, so he's going to be looking to repeat. My good buddy Mickey, he's been so close to getting on that podium, and I think his last year he's gonna shock some people. And myself, I think I like I just said all that stuff, but I'm really just looking to wrestle whoever. I definitely want to wrestle the guys on the podium. I always am trying to wrestle the best guys. I've wrestled Dean a lot in freestyle. Never really actually I wrestled him my freshman year when Nationals was at Pitt. But so definitely those guys, and yeah, I mean, I guess not to really call anyone out, but I definitely want to wrestle all those good guys and get some good matches in with them. And yeah, so I guess not really anyone specific, but whoever steps on the line, I guess.
Solid. I mean, I think we heard that a lot from everybody, kind of just, who was right there. I mean, you're one of those guys who was, right there, who, could have been interchanged with any of those guys on the podium, So I think definitely you look forward to fighting for a spot there. And, we're hoping you do. We're hoping you get on the podium. We hope all of our guests that come on, we hope that they all make it to the All-American stage. So,
thanks, boys.
Hopefully we'll see you at Tulsa. We're supposed to be making a trip down there and gonna get some interviews on the floor, hopefully. So hopefully
awesome.
you got two charming large gentlemen standing there looking for you after after a big win. So
hopefully we'll get a post national title interview. It'd be great.
Yeah, let's hope so. But I mean, yeah, man, it's great to hear that you're getting ready to come back, getting healthy. I think there's a lot of guys that got banged up. A lot of guys were injured this year. This is probably one of the most injury-ridden seasons we've seen in quite a while. Whether it was at their conference tournament or at nationals, there's a lot of injury defaults. So especially to some really good guys. A lot of really good guys took some tough injuries. So
yeah, definitely been rough for sure.
I mean, I guess we'll, ask some fun, get some of the more get to know you questions rolling here. I mean, obviously, we've heard from a lot of guys, we've talked to pretty much at least one guy from every team, represented in college wrestling. We're getting there for some teams, but I mean, so what's it like? What's it like going to Pitt? Do you live in like a crazy wrestling house? We talked to Braxton Amos and a lot of those guys who live in these, 6 to 8 man houses full of wrestlers. Is that what it's like for you at Pitt?
Yeah, so the house I'm living in now, I'm actually moving to a little apartment with me and my buddies. So it's just two of us, but for 4 years now, I've had a house full of 7 wrestlers. So it's been crazy, and we all like to hang out and get together and everything. And the big thing in our house is actually like we play Mario Kart on our.
We play Mario Party. That's what we do in our house.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Dude, we get heated in Mario Kart. And
wrestling matches do happen because of Mario.
There's been some takedowns to declare winners and everything. That's for sure. But don't let anyone fool you. I'm definitely the best in the house at Mario Kart. That's a challenge to anyone who ever wants to compete.
We'll have to ask some of the guys. Who are some of the guys that you live with?
Yeah, so I live with our heavyweight Jake Slinger. I've actually lived it. People been interchanging that house. Our 49 pounder, our 74 Hunter Kernan, Luke Kemmer, Nick Maglina, one of our 84s. Yeah, just like a bunch of different guys. It's been honestly like there's been 20 guys who've been like moved out. I've been there the longest. The guys just move in, move out. But yeah, dude. And then Mickey, a couple guys who don't live with us, they'll come over too. Like Mickey always is coming over, and all those guys. So it's definitely pretty hectic. Some broken controllers.
For all the pit guys that just called out, you have to leave a comment on the video about how bad he truly is at Mario Kart or how good he is.
I'm not shy. I'll definitely let them know how bad they are.
So we like to do a little bit of we do a little digging before you get on here. So we looked at some of your Instagram pictures, and one of the captions was, I think it was either Siri or Google, find me the closest Italian restaurant. So what's the go-to order at a good mom and pop Italian restaurant?
Oh man, you just gotta go simple. You just gotta get spaghetti meatballs with just a side salad, some garlic bread. That's what I go to. There's a lot of good Italian places like around Pittsburgh. My mom, I'm close to home, like I said, so I go home a lot, and I always think my mom should open a restaurant. Mama B's Pasta. She cooks like unreal pasta, unreal sauce. But yeah, dude, I just gotta go simple. Just spaghetti, red sauce, some meatballs. I'll be set up for a while with that. So
that's absolutely great meal. So
yeah, unreal.
So I mean, we'll just hop right to the questions you ask everybody.
Yeah.
I'll let him go first. Him are a little bit more wrestling, oriented. Mine are a little bit, not so wrestling. So I'll let him go first. Then we'll end it with some fun ones.
Wow, let's do it.
Top 3 collegiate wrestlers of all time. None of them can be from Pitt.
Okay.
Your favorite, not like top 3 ranking them. Your top 3 favorite.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna probably go Kyle Dake, David Taylor, Brett Metcalf. Okay, 3 favorites.
Solid. We have
list,
contended that any guy from 157 pounds to heavyweight, every single one of them has said David Taylor. I feel like it's just like that age range we're at now with like the guys that are competing. Everybody grew up watching David Taylor.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I grew up watching Metcalf and Kyle Dake, so those guys are like childhood, like I'd watch all their matches and everything. And
have you got the chance to talk to Kyle Dake? Have you ever been there with him before?
Yeah, I got the chance to talk with him and Taylor a little bit. So me and Mickey and Greg Harvey on our team, we went to, or no, it was just me and Mickey. Wait, was it? No, me, Mickey, and Greg Harvey. We went to Colorado Springs for training, and okay, it was me and Mickey. Sorry, I'm like all confused. We did a couple trips, but that particular one, we went to Colorado Springs, and I actually got to wrestle with Dake a little bit. So I got to do that, and one of our coaches, actually, Jordan Lean, he went to Cornell, so there was a little connection with him and Dake. So Lean would, hang out with Dake and his wife, and that kind of, we were Jordan's tag along, so we got their chance to talk to Dake, and Dake and Taylor are actually good friends. So with Dake came Taylor, and we kind of all were talking a little bit, and great dudes. It's interesting to see how, those guys are off the mat, because they're so special when they are on the mat. And yeah, so it was definitely fun. I don't really think I had a chance to talk to Metcalf before, but definitely would be into that. So yeah, but those are definitely my top 3, I'd have to say.
Awesome. That's awesome to hear. These are once again generation talent. David Taylor, Kyle Dake. Those are 2 guys. Him and them, and then of course Burroughs, who are, they kind of proved to the world that you could wrestle for ever. A lot of guys were before them, it was you're kind of done after college. Maybe try to make one Olympic team, and you're kind of done. They're going to wrestle until I think they're like 70. Like, I think those guys are just not even close to them being done with wrestling.
If anyone's gonna wrestle till they're like 70, it's definitely those 2 guys, Dake Taylor, Burroughs. Those guys it's insane. They can keep going and keep winning, for that matter. It's awesome.
You got any more questions?
Didn't you ask yours?
No.
You're gonna ask it, or you? Oh shit, we didn't go to your questions yet.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
Yeah. Dude, my headphones just like broke like a little bit. No, we answered mine.
Yeah. Okay. So we have some pretty darn good questions we like to ask. So because we plan on doing some good travel this upcoming wrestling season to go watch some duels. If we were to come to a pit duel, right after the duel, where's the number one place in Pittsburgh we got to go eat? What's the best spot in Pittsburgh?
Dang, on the spot. Well, definitely locally, you're gonna want to go to Permanis. That's a staple thing at Pitt. Or
That's the
you can
thing.
go to a place called Fatheads. It's called. Great sandwiches. They got like pierogies and stuff on the sandwiches. Very Pittsburghy. So I'd say either Permanis or Fatheads. Something I would go. And there's a spot I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it. Yeah, it's called Piata. It's a little like Italian like. It's not like fast food. It's kind of like Chipotle, but it's all like they make it in front of you. They do like all like Italian wraps and everything. So definitely, I'd do one of those three for sure if you're in Pittsburgh.
Is Chipotle considered fast food?
That's what I don't know. I mean, it's I don't know. Probably not.
It's
I mean,
definitely better for you than fast food.
yeah,
Chipotle.
yeah. So that's why I don't even know. Piata's like it's pretty healthy, I think. I don't know, but yeah. So I guess maybe not fast food, but
Yeah, being a growing up in a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan household, I have been able to make the trip down there to be able to eat at. Actually, I've eaten at all three of those places before. So
no
yes, they're all
way.
very good. Yes,
Oh,
they're
wow.
all very good. But
Yeah, yeah.
I know I could back you up on that one. Those are three places that are really good. So
Good.
last question. We've heard some absolutely amazing responses to this one, and I'm hoping yours is just as good. So in the zombie apocalypse, you could take 4 of your
Oh.
Pittsburgh Panther teammates with you into the zombie apocalypse. Who would they be and why to build your zombie apocalypse super team?
Man, this is a good question. This is like the ultimate question. All right. Do RTC people count, or is it just
No,
be after the other
That's
team?
the Pittsburgh Panthers, the blue and gold singlet.
I think we can count RTC since you made a world team, right?
Yeah, we'll
Well,
count RTC. We'll count your
all right,
RTC.
all right. So first off, I think I'm bringing our heavyweight Demetrius Thomas. Just for sheer strength, intimidation. We need to break down a door or something. I think he's the man. So I think I'm going to go with Meech. And heavyweight podcast. I got to throw a heavyweight in there. So
Perfect.
I'm going to do Mickey Philippi because he's like running is insane. Like he's like one of the best runners ever. So I think if we needed to get like supplies, we send Mickey out there. I think he could outrun all the zombies, grab our stuff, and he's like a real foodie. So I think he'd know what food to get. So we got Meech, Mickey. Do I need 2 more, or am I included
Two
in
more,
that?
no, 2 more, 2 more.
2 more. I'm gonna do my other good buddy Nick Maguino. He's like got a 4.0 like every semester. He's a genius. So I think we could put him on like trying to create a cure, being like our medic type of guy. I think I'd do him. And then the third one, I'm gonna need some like entertainment. I think someone funny. They're all pretty funny, but
Usually this is usually the 4th guy. Usually like you did, you get
Yeah.
the strong, you get the fast, you get the smart, and then you get the guy that if you have to shoot in the knee, you could do it. But
yeah. I'm gonna do our 84 this year. His name is James Leto. He's
Man.
yeah, he's pretty crazy. You know what I'm talking about?
You seen the comments like recently?
Oh yeah, he's like not afraid to get on comments and
It's
comment
all
back.
about what's it called? The Cole Matthews
Yeah.
launching real woods thing.
Yeah. So he's hilarious. He's nuts. He's someone like you said you can maybe shoot in the knee if you need to. So I think that's my studded lineup. And then obviously you got the leader, me. There, I'll just dictate. No, but yeah. So But yeah,
sadly, pre this week's podcast, right? I'd say that's a top 10. But because we had Lee Kemp and Kenny Monday on, who of course were on 2 Olympic and Olympic team, world team, I have to say, plus we had we had Air Force's heavyweight on, who he was great, but his team was 4 trained U.S. soldiers. So
God.
I think theoretically
Can't compete with that.
that's probably our best team we've had.
Yeah,
But we'll say yours is definitely a top 10. One day we're gonna clip all these. We're gonna clip all these out, and we're gonna put them in like a bracket, and we're gonna see whose team would survive. But definitely,
This is gonna be.
What'd you say?
This is gonna be my final question to you. I have another one. We got Kyle Dake coming up.
Mhm.
Does he bring Jordan Burroughs?
Does he? You know, I think he does. I think they've shared a lot of periods, a lot of minutes together. I think there's some respect there. I think he has to bring Burrows. Be shocked if he didn't. I'm curious to see his answer. I'm gonna have to tune in, and I'm curious to hear his lineup.
I think he definitely brings David Taylor. I think
he
David
definitely brings Taylor.
Yeah.
What he's gonna bring Gable for sure. I mean, you have to have Gable on your team somewhere.
This is my
I think.
projection. He's gonna bring Taylor. He's gonna bring Gilman. He's gonna bring Gable, and then he's gonna take. You have to take Snyder. I feel.
Yeah.
I think that's where JB doesn't make it because you add Gable, Snyder, and Gilman is a nutcase. So you take Gilman, of course. He's like DeSanto before DeSanto was there. Before DeSanto was at Iowa, it was Gilman. So
he has to take Yanni. That's the thing.
Oh, Yanni. I don't think. Listen, no offense to Yanni. He's a small gentleman. He's a little guy. So I think I'd rather take Snyder, Gable, and Gilman than Yanni or. I don't know. Maybe JB makes a spot there. I don't know.
He's got some choices to pick from. That's gonna be interesting. I'm curious to hear that. That's funny.
But,
that was a good question. I like that one. That was interesting.
So obviously, we appreciate you giving us your time. Thank you very much for coming on and talking with the fans for a little bit. Sure. We look forward to looking to see how your pit team does next year. I mean, obviously, we wish you guys great success, and hopefully, we'll have a couple of your pit teammates on coming up here. So.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. It was fun talking to you.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. So this has been episode 117 of Late Night Shots. See you guys again next time.